I'm a survivalist. I'm a realist. I'm not an extremist. Right now our society is crumbling. Crime rates are horrendous. And warfare is part of survival. We're fully prepared to handle anything that's going to happen.
Meet Kyle Chapman. This man of controversy used to head New Zealand's notorious National Front.
Believe in what you fucking believe in. Why the fuck have you got your fucking masks on, mate?
You're a bunch of violent cowards.
Last weekend, Kyle Chapman and his cohorts converged in Wellington.
Grandparents died for this fucking flag. Fuck you!
Kyle Chapman is still fighting that front, but he's also amassed his own army of Rambo-style survivalists.
Are you? Are you?
And packed his bags for doomsday.
To me it's when, not if. So it's a when scenario.
You see total chaos on the horizon.
Yeah, total chaos.
Armageddon.
Yeah, I believe it's an absolute certainty. There's no doubt in my mind that something is going to happen, and if there isn't a disaster that happens, society will cave in on itself.
These are Kyle Chapman's merry men.
Killing in the name of...
They call themselves Survive Club. They live in a culture of fear, convinced the end really is finally nigh.
I love my family and I want to protect them. What's extreme about that?
Are you prepared to kill?
To protect my family, yes.
You'd kill another man?
To protect my family, yes.
Some would say that's pretty extreme.
We have to be ready to live it quite hard, Like I said, the humanity in me doesn't want to harm other people, but the realist in me, the loving father in me, says that I have to protect my family.
Talk of doomsday used to be the preserve of conspiracy theorists and the paranoid few. But the whole world watched in horror as civilization went to hell in a handbasket when Hurricane Katrina struck New Orleans.
Look at New Orleans. That is what we're looking at, New Orleans. What happened in New Orleans? Neighbours killing each other over a piece of bread. People dying of the pollution that's coming out of their own sewage systems. People are dying sitting on the bridges waiting for help because the help never came. And that's the biggest, most civilised country in the world, supposedly.
Kyle Chapman's fears are shared by others. Horrific storms, natural disasters, war, famine, global warming and peak oil have given rise to a new breed of survivalists like the Scott family. They're not members of Survive Club. They're well-heeled, well-educated and more likely to wear designer labels than camouflage jackets.
I see us as economic refugees.
Robin Scott, born in England, educated at Oxford University, former laird of his own Scottish castle, sees New Zealand as a lifeboat, a safe haven from global warming, overpopulation and the collapse of the world economy.
You've heard of the saying, mad dog's an Englishman.
Yes, who's only been in this country 2 years and thinks he can tell us how to run the place. Yeah, well, you could accuse me of a certain amount of arrogance, and you could certainly accuse me of being eccentric. I don't mind either of those words. I resemble both of them. But, I'm not the only one that thinks that the shit is going to hit the fan fairly soon.
Rural Canterbury is Robin Scott's promised land. He's swapped the castle for a villa to ensure his family tree will continue to prosper and grow.
So how bad do you think it'll get?
Well, worst possible scenario, external to New Zealand, worldwide, is horrific. It's New Orleans writ large. It's the tsunami writ large. It's Darfur writ large. That's where we're going. There's some bad stuff going on, and it's going to get worse, unfortunately, sadly, tragically for all of us.
As far as Robin Scott is concerned, the worst place in the world to be when disaster strikes is a big city.
I wouldn't feel safe in Europe at this point in time because there are simply too many people in too close a space, and I think that poses a great threat. There are, as they say, 3 days' food in the shops. So things can turn very ugly very quickly. I wouldn't feel safe in Europe at this point in time because there are simply too many people in too close a space, and I think that poses a great threat. There are, as they say, 3 days' food in the shops. So things can turn very ugly very quickly.
On that point, all survivalists agree.
So what's your solution?
We would go bushing.